All right, guys, welcome to another video. Today we're going to talk about promising young accounts, right? And specifically in 39.2, these type of accounts we value a lot. I'll go over some of the pros, the cons, how I define it. And it's not a coincidence that for the thumbnail, we actually have Teen Goku here, right? So still on his way up, still developing, obviously not even close to what the end state. Well, Dragon Ball's not a good example because they just keep getting stronger and stronger, but you kind of get the point, right? So for me, if I was going to define a young promising account, I'm talking about somewhere between KBK 4 and 9. So like less than 2 years old, but old enough where they've actually experienced Crystal Tech in the end game. Okay, so obviously you could be in KBK 1 and 2, would be a young promising account, but you can't even migrate if you want to. So as I'm talking about kingdom building, recruiting, it kind of fits this profile. Good account progression for the age. Right, so like account progression stats, like if I look at the equipment, the armaments, and the stats, right, I could take into account, okay, this guy's only played 4 KVKs, only one like real season of conquest, or like if he's in KVK 5, he's had endgame commanders for two KVKs, right, and he's only played 2 season of conquest with Crystal Tech, right? So the stats in context relative to the account age is really important. A lot of times when people just look at these accounts like, oh, the KP's low, right? They're just too young, they're not ready. One good way to think about it is like if you were taking a rookie in say the NBA, right? They're old enough where if you do a good eval, they should be able to perform their rookie year, right? They're not gonna do the best, they're not at their potential, or they haven't quite caught up yet, but like that stage of account is where I think you get the biggest quote unquote glow up, right? Because a lot of the younger players, when they first start out, they don't even know they want to spend yet, right? Maybe like for me, I didn't spend until like KVK 2, right? Or into KVK 1, something like that. I definitely didn't spend right away. And then once I started spending, then I had to figure out where to spend, what to spend on. So there's some time figuring it out. And then once you start figuring this stuff out, right, your account really starts taking off, right? So like the biggest growth for me as a player probably happened from like KBK 4, 5, and 6, where I started figuring a lot of stuff out, and then how effective my account was on the field and able to contribute to a kingdom also really took off in that time, right? So it's not like my account hasn't gotten better, it has, right? But the biggest growth is actually in that window there. So if you could get an account in that range and you could do good evaluation, right? You still have to do good evaluations. I feel like it's a way to really bring in accounts that are undervalued by a lot of rock community standard. You can get players that definitely aren't burnt out yet, right? So they probably have a little bit more longevity. And then if you get these players and they're a good fit, rather than them becoming a bigger player and then wanting to go to one of the few, you know, quote unquote top kingdoms, they can actually be part of your core group and grow with your group to be a top kingdom. So in 3092, our timeline right now, we're obviously not an imp, we're not close, maybe one day, but if we could actually gather a lot of these young promising accounts and then grow with them, it's something that really, really fits our profile. So on the screen here, I have 2 profiles. The one I'm showing on the right is because JLG is already in. We actually took him in about 2 KBKs ago. Well, not about, we took him 2 KBKs ago when we were still in 2268. At the time, it was about 6 months younger, right? So we kind of let him down as far as our KBKs. Last 2 KBKs ago, and the last one in 68, we lost. It was very one-sided. And then this last KBK in 3092, where we won, we also won, but it was pretty one-sided, right? So like his account could probably have viewing progressed a lot more as far as stats over the last 2 KBKs, but just the last 2 haven't been as competitive as it could have been. And that's why his stats, I would say, relative to the account age is still slightly suppressed, right? So I think we took him in maybe right around under 2 bill, and he's got about 1 bill KP the last 2 KBKs. We do have good fighting this next KBK, which is what we're shooting for. I do project that like he'll actually really take off like in his account, right? The one on the left, I blocked out the name, you know, because it's someone we just accepted, but we haven't brought in yet. But you can see he has like a 146 ID, and then for that account age and then like the KP and everything, it's a very promising account, right? So we're really excited to get him in and then kind of integrating them into our group and seeing how he does. So obviously this is also a recruiting video. Our migration window for this cycle officially ends reset of the 26th, right? So if you're actually a young promising account, you're looking for a kingdom to grow with that appreciates you, that kind of like gets like why we're taking you and how you fit the timeline, definitely apply. The Discord is migrate2sv.com. We do a voice interview to make sure everything checks out, and then you will be going into kvk very soon if you come now. All right, so if you watch all the way to the end, you haven't yet, please like and subscribe. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll talk to you guys next time.